it's funny too because the summertime does make it like that. Like the things you would do almost any other season, you're just not gonna get into over the summertime. You're like, look, do I really got to spend all that energy right now for this little thing? I don't know.
For real.
Unless, like you said, you're going to the beach.
Yeah. That was cool. It's fresh. We're there to like, I think 10 hours.
Oh yeah, speak into the mic. Remember to you want to speak into the mic. Yeah, hell yeah. Test it one more time.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
There.
Yeah,
check.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Alright,
like the
perfect.
same size away.
So which beach did you go to?
To Malibu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now you really know what's up.
Away from everybody. To the clean water.
To the clean water with the white folks. Hey.
To the upscale waters.
It's been maybe like a year and a half or two since I visited Malibu Beach, so I'm kind of wondering if like it's gotten. Oh hell yeah! But I'm wondering if it's gotten more trafficked ever since. Like, do you see more people than you
I didn't
saw?
go in the morning. I went like
Not everybody trying to leave Santa Monica and Venice to go.
And there's only like one main highway to like, you know, like
That goes up and down there. Yeah.
It's a good drive, but honestly, from where we're at, it's not a bad drive at all.
that's nice.
It's just we happen to live by the area where all the traffic is
So condensed, bro.
Yeah, of course,
man.
So
That's
condensed.
just crazy.
Oh, remember to speak into the mic. Let's see, because I don't want it to not catch you when you're replying. So let me see.
No, fucking
I know, right? Or should I just run and get that mic, man? What do y'all think?
Have you exercised today?
How do you exercise?
I'm saving my exercise for after this session, actually.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
I'm
Nah, you sure, bro? Yeah, we could do this.
Yeah, that's right. We could do this, man. We gotta. Yeah.
And I still gotta go home and pack. Like I'm moving right now too. So
Oh, is that right?
that's literally what I was doing right now at the crib. I was packing out my shit up ready to bounce.
Where are you moving to, man?
The valley.
Oh, that's where a lot of
not
people
to the
been.
valley. Yeah.
Man.
That's where a lot of people been.
Gotta
Lately.
go. San Bernardino,
Valley.
San Fernando Valley, somewhere around there.
I said V. Man, all I know is the temperature rises like crazy
Bro,
up in that.
Over there.
We're out
It should
there
be like
today,
105,
bro. It was,
bro.
100, it was like 98, something like that, bro.
It's like
Over
hot
here, it
as
was like
hell in
85 or something, bro. That shit was
That's a
stupid.
big
Make sure
fact.
you got your AC ready, bro.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
hot in the daytime.
The crib got the little thermostat.
that's a big
yeah,
must.
the central AC. Yeah.
Then the nighttime that shit gets hot as cold as fuck.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
valley.
So you turn on foot on the little plug right there.
That's the valley, man. That's the valley for you.
It's crazy though, yeah. Cause speaking about traffic, when we were going over there,
Wow.
fuck,
Oh, my
mad
goodness.
traffic getting out of here. For as soon as we get out of LA, bro, cruising, bro. Same way back. We coming back as soon as we hit a certain area, bro. That's all the fucking traffic.
It's funny too because the valley's got its own perks and everything. But one thing that really strikes me about it is like the 1 or 2 lanes that you get. Like everything. Like if you go up once you get off that 101 and you go on to Lancashire or whatever, you got like Cahuenga.
What is it?
Damn, honestly, my first time being out there, bro. I don't
love
know
that.
nothing about the valley.
Well, these
bro.
are like tight
I know a little
streets.
bit about the valley.
These are tight and also lengthy streets though. Like the traffic, street wise, is pretty wild over there, man. From what I know.
I hope not.
Like
Right.
once you get off of that 405 or like the 101,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and it's time to just like go home, man, you're gonna see an army.
I think everybody takes the 101 because the
Don't tell me that,
405 is hell.
Don't tell me that.
Don't tell me that.
I'm on the 405, like.
Take the 105 if you come back.
Save your white hairs for later.
Actually, that's kind of an interesting question for a moment. When did y'all first learn how to drive?
When I bought my first car at what, like 19 or something like that?
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I had to go all the way to Corona and I picked it up. Never drove a car before and I had to drive that shit back, bro. That shit was crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus, take the
Like,
wheel.
yeah, like 2 hour drive, bro. Shit just,
I'll pass my test.
only time I drove 10 and 2, bro, trying to get there.
Oh, that's real good, man.
That's
Corona,
funny.
wait, how far is that?
That's like about I want to say what, an hour and a half, 2 hour drive probably.
Probably
I might be lying, maybe less.
It's probably like 60 miles, 50 miles.
Man, that's a good drive for
I
your
just
first
know that's
drive.
good because
That's a show.
that was crazy, bro. That was a crazy experience.
What about y'all?
Right.
You gotta get that mic, bro. You gotta lean into that, man.
The first time I drove, I think my uncle let me park the car. I was like 10 years old.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. But I've always liked racing games, so I always like, I don't know, I feel like I picked up driving quick because like I felt like I was playing Need for Speed or like GTA.
Man, that's something actually. That's
Yeah.
something. That's something.
No, I wasn't that young when I learned how to drive. I think I was around like 14, 13.
That's
My
pretty good, man.
dad would just like take me in the van and just drive me on the block.
Just around the block, right?
Yeah, my
That's
brother.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's dope. Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
never got
good.
shot like that. Like, well, my experiences, bro, we'd be driving in the front with my pops, and I don't know what the fuck this guy would start doing, bro, but he just tell me, grab the wheel.
Oh,
So in the
right.
middle of the fucking freeway, bro, I'm holding out to the wheel trying to steer this thing, bro. I think it's crazy.
He's like, we crash and fail.
It's funny, man.
Good times, so good times.
It's funny because the way I see it, like, everybody learns it a little differently. But if I was teaching somebody today, I'd say like, the most important part is actually knowing how to stop the car.
Yeah, honestly.
How to put that brake on and everything, like, cause you can go, that's easy, and you can even go fast, that's cool. But you gotta know how to brake and not hit something or hit someone. That's and it's a little counterintuitive because you're like, if I'm driving a car, I'm trying to like go places. Yeah, you're trying to go places, but you're trying to get there in a
one
slightly
piece.
orderly manner.
Yeah.
100% one piece.
Trying to get there in the ambulance.
It's funny too because y'all mentioned GTA, and I definitely messed with a lot of GTA way before I learned how to actually drive a real car. So, but that's GTA, not a racing game per se, not like Gran Turismo
Need for
or
Speed.
Yeah, I was
Need
never
for
good at
Speed,
those,
like you were
those
saying.
racing games, bro. I was never
Need for
good at
Speed Burnout, bro. That shit was fun. Yeah, my favorite.
Hot Pursuit, the first one that came out.
Now, Underground
Oh,
and Midnight
bro.
Club.
On the fucking
That's where it's at.
GameCube, bro.
Yeah.
On the GameCube.
Yeah, it had a little
I played Lord of the
GameCube,
Rings
bro,
on
and I had that
GameCube
shit
once,
on there, bro.
Man, that's
Lord of the
amazing.
Rings?
I
Oh, shit.
think, man, I
I was
haven't
on
had
the
GameCube in a
playing
long
fucking
time.
Underground.
Yeah, Super Smash Melee, bro.
I was
That's
about
what
to
people
buy
know
one,
games
like,
for.
I was
That's
about to
what
buy
people
one
know.
last week, but I just ended up buying some PS2.
Hey, you really been on that shit, huh?
Yeah,
That vintage
yeah,
gaming
yeah.
shit? That shit dope.
You know what you could do for that mic too? You could probably just keep it in the middle, and that way you don't have to do too much
You think
turning.
it'll pick up though?
Yeah, like if you just
Yo,
go,
yo, yo.
hey, yeah, but yeah, like that, perfect. Because you can always see
Would it really pick up? Oh, yeah, I mean, kind of.
it picks up just enough.
Yeah, I gotta speak up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just try to
just
stick up a
little.
little bit.
Yeah, probably just
Kinda
speak up a little.
talk loud and shit.
Yeah, you
Fuck
gotta
around with it.
project, fam. Like you're on stage right now.
Hey, you bit no, sorry.
Hey.
That's alright. Caesar got us.
Hey,
Yes,
Caesar
sir.
got us.
Yes, sir.
He's
He's
got
gonna
the
carry
BBs.
us
Yes,
today.
sir. I got y'all what we're talking about today, yes, sir. The block.
It's funny too because when you mention some of these games, I'm wondering if y'all ever spent any time at that family arcade on
Oh,
Vermont.
bro.
Anytime, bro.
Yeah, right after
Anytime.
hit the little
Right.
Caesars
Like-
for a $5 pizza, bro.
Like endless fucking memories since then, bro.
Bro, that ass.
Man, that little arcade's been there since the 70s and whatnot,
Yeah,
from what I
yeah, bro.
understand.
They had that little one.
That's another
Japanese
staple
racing
of
game,
like
bro.
Virgil Village.
Yeah,
And,
100%.
like,
Yeah,
you know,
The front of it is like so dope that
Yeah.
no matter how much time passes, if they just
Family
renew
arcade.
everything around it, it still stands out like if it was brand new.
What was it? Kid Cudi recorded a music video in there?
And
Yeah,
Heard
day
about
and
that,
night.
yeah.
Day and
All
night.
through
You
the
recorded
neighborhood.
right there by Virgil
Yeah,
Village.
with the parrot.
Yeah,
Yeah, homeboy with
There
the
used to be
parrot
those
down the
smog
street.
cutting.
bro.
Y'all know what's
Yeah,
up.
smog
Yeah,
cutting,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That shit's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, y'all know what's up because I don't think a lot of people are aware that Cuddy filmed right there in the neighborhood. like
Yeah,
that.
that's
yeah,
what
be
to the homie
familiar with
haircut.
your environment.
Hey.
That's where the roots come
That
from.
ass.
Alright, bro.
100%. Oh, so y'all do know that little spot very well then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on the street, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope, honestly.
I took my brothers a couple times before they moved, but I think it went up in price, but it was like $20.
Oh, bro,
It's for
yeah.
all day, so you could leave. You don't have to pay for the games. You go eat or get drinks.
Oh, that ass?
Or come after like the bar or something, because it's open till like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just
it's
made
all
that,
day?
right? Yeah, because they just made that adjustment because that's like a pandemic era
Yeah,
adjustment.
that's how they got out the gutter, I
I
think.
thought it was you pay
Right.
$20, you do whatever, you bounce and you can't come back and shit.
I think it was that for like a moment and then they switched it
Yeah.
up.
You have the
and said,
bracelet, you don't take it off, you come back. Like,
Oh,
on the
shit.
morning with your brother, you come back in the night
Yeah.
with your lady or some shit.
Right,
Like,
right,
fucking
right.
pizza or the fucking Pollo Loco right there.
It's open
Yeah,
all
this
day.
is a
You
family
can
meal,
come with
bro.
your homies after you guys go pregame.
Man,
after the
it's so
studio.
interesting because I met a UPS driver or an Amazon driver way back, and he told me, "Yeah, man, I know this neighborhood. I used to hang out at that family arcade all the time before it closed down." And then I said, "Actually, it didn't close down, or
That's
if
the-
it did, it closed down for like
that's
a
the
brief
temporary,
moment,
bro.
and
Yeah,
it came back up."
temporarily.
And
I
he
think I
said,
got
"What?"
remodeled.
Yeah, I got remodeled.
The
Yeah.
inside.
Hey, yeah, I was honestly. Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
I haven't been inside.
I think they like
Yeah,
took out some
bro.
machines and they kind of made the
Because a bunch
pathway
of that
to the back a
machinery,
little
bro,
bigger.
was
for
from
real?
like the 70s, like here you said, bro. Like,
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
old
Well, that's
machine.
actually
it's
another
a
part of
vintage style game.
They had
That's what it was.
Marvel,
I like watching all the members
They
on
had,
top.
uh,
all
yeah,
over
bro,
the-
shit.
Marvel
Bro.
versus Capcom.
That's
They had
right.
Mortal Kombat.
That's
They
right.
had like a WWF or
Yeah, Pac-Man for OG Pac-Man
Yeah,
right
bro.
there, bro.
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering about. Like,
Yeah.
if it's from the 70s, then what kind of video games did they even have in the 70s, man?
Bro, they
They
had
had a
pinball
Gallagher,
machines.
They had that
Gallagher.
whole storage right
Pinball
next to it.
machines,
They had the
pinball
whole storage for the
machines,
games.
the
right next to it.
basketball.
Yeah.
Man, that was pre-Michael Jordan too.
What
Air
about
hockey
I
for
fuck with
sure,
the air
too.
hockey, yeah, the air hockey.
Foosball, that's probably what they
oh.
had in there. Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance Revolution. I was in there busting a cool and shit.
Now I think they got like Mario Kart too in
They got Guitar
Yeah,
Hero,
yeah,
Guitar
yeah,
Hero.
yeah.
See, I'd like to go in there at some point and ask them for the archives and see photos of what that family arcade looked like over the decades.
Bro, that place is
'Cause
like
at this
Yeah, that'd
point,
be crazy.
that's
It's like
like
5 decades. If
that's
it's
like
in
the
70s.
landmark, you know, like for our
Yeah.
community.
Yeah, hiking.
No, it's interesting too because right along that strip where they used to have the billiards and where they used to have
Bro,
Oh,
yeah,
bro.
because we got Panda, bro.
The
Yeah,
cafe
the
was
There's a
Pandas-
panda still
the
there?
Yeah,
Pandas
it's gonna be
coming
a
in.
Panda, bro.
the
What
cafe
Pandas
was
coming in.
the cafe wasn't even there that long. I think
It
it
wasn't,
came around when we were like in high
Yeah.
school, just
It
starting
wasn't.
high school.
Bro, I
That
went there
spot
like
was
crazy.
always a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
That's that particular spot where the cafe was
The
at.
thing
but-
that was crazy for like the community, because you know the community is mainly like Hispanic people.
Yeah.
So the thing that was crazy is when the Swami closed down.
Swami, bro.
That's right.
You know, like
That's right.
we'll go there to get shoes to go back to school, shirts.
Pro clubs,
there was a
bro,
barber shop
yeah.
in there. There was some pets in there,
Everything.
Levi's.
There was Mr. Kim's in
Gaming
there.
store.
Well,
Mr. Kim with the video games.
With the video games.
We'll go there for cleats, like cheap
Yeah.
cleats. You know, like they had
You
everything.
could go
right
in there to get your keys remade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
Chinese food too. You want
One
Chinese
stop
food?
shop.
One stop
That's
shop.
I remember
right.
they even had a tattoo shop in there.
Yeah,
For
fam.
I had my first tattoo right there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Tattoo or what?
I got this Scarface tattoo.
Man, that's a serious investment
Yeah.
right there. I mean, what did that run you at that point?
$100. I was like,
That's-
$100 for a big
that's a
hotel?
clean-
I was like, I'm down.
That's a clean discount right there, man.
Yeah.
$100 for a Scarface tattoo. How long did it take?
I think like 3 hours.
$100. What year was that?
I think it was like 2016.
Man, that's a real
Yeah.
throwback. I mean, actually, $100 was a little more difficult to come by.
But around that
2016
time,
too.
I think haircuts were like $15. They're like 35,
Bro, I
40
heard
bucks now.
them
Yeah,
cheap,
they are.
bro.
Yeah,
Nah,
bro.
paid a fucking
I remember it went up
45
from like
bucks.
$10 to like 12, then 13, then 15, and then out of nowhere, $20 haircuts.
That's right. The haircut is an issue now, my dude. The
Yeah.
haircut is a
Yeah,
serious
but
issue.
that's a
man.
It's
serious
essential,
business,
you know?
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's like a
business,
business
bro.
that's never gonna die.
That's like eyelash extensions, wigs.
It's true. It's just
You
interesting
know,
to
it's
me
like
that
a
like,
filter. Like we're men, we don't put on no makeup.
Yeah.
You know, we just get a haircut.
Yeah.
Get a
Literally,
fresh-
that's all I
get a
need,
fresh
bro.
shirt.
but there are so
Yeah.
many different kinds of like barber shops, and that also strikes me a little bit because now you have more options than ever for a barber shop. So I feel like it's also getting kind of difficult.
Little barber in the corner.
It's
Stand
because
out.
before barber probably wasn't like a passion for a lot of people, and then now there's a lot of barbers. I remember when I was little.
Now
there
our
wasn't-
generation's coming.
When I was little, there wasn't that many barbers like in the
Yeah.
neighborhood that would like
Yeah.
actually fade you up and stuff like that, you know. And then I remember like when I went out east to visit my family, they had a gang of like Dominican barbers, you know,
Yeah.
like
East where?
yeah, like I think it was in Queens.
Wow.
Yeah, over there, like I don't know, everybody's
Yeah,
fade
a
looks
bunch
so
of
fresh. It
Dominicans
looks
out
like it's like airbrush.
It's so wild, man, because when I was first listening to Queens getting repped by Nas and Mobb Deep and some of these other cats, I didn't really know that that Latino people were out there like that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like Cuban
So
people,
interesting.
Dominican,
Out there is
Puerto
crazy.
Rican.
Yeah.
There's like South American people,
Yeah,
Central
right.
American people. There's a lot of Honduran people out there.
Hondureños are
Yeah.
like for sure known out there.
But you gotta remember, like the way the map looks is not the actual layout, like of how close everything is to each other. You know.
Oh, for
Right.
sure, for sure. I mean, it's cool not needing a car to go
It's
everywhere.
flat.
Like
Yeah. Honestly, like, actually, New York trips me out, bro. Like, the east side over there, bro, it trips me out how it's all like coordinated and like laid out. Bro.
Yeah, it's
That's right. That's right. Just the way that you could get any kind of food at any
Yeah.
hour, the way the clubs don't close down.
New York
until
is like
way
New
up in the
York's
morning.
probably is dope. It's probably like a GTA map. Cause you know where where all like the Wall Street's
Yeah.
at, you know where all the entertainment.
I mean, a lot of
at,
us
you know
met
where
it
Times
through
Square is at.
GTA 3.
Yeah.
when it first came out, man.
Honestly,
With the Italian, with the Salvatore family
Yeah.
or whatever.
the same thing with Vice
I
City.
remember.
Vice City was goated.
Right. Yeah.
So like,
Vice City.
Actually, yeah. What's your favorite GTA? If you have to choose one. So
San
I'm here.
Andreas.
I'm here with Fuego, Forbes, as well as Don C. We're talking
Yes,
GTA.
sir.
We're talking NYC. We're talking LA and Virgil Village. But for a moment, we're gonna pause and ask about the best GTA for each one of these cats. What's the best GTA for you, Don C?
I'm gonna say it's between San Andreas and GTA 4.
I think that's pretty good. That's a good
Hey,
combo.
4 was solid, bro. 4 was
Yeah,
solid.
yeah,
4 was
yeah.
solid.
Yeah, but
Mine, I'd
four
say
was
San
nice,
Andreas.
nah,
Yeah, San Andreas.
I think either San Andreas or Vice City.
Bro.
Vice City was
I'm with
cold
that
too.
too.
Vice City,
was
Vice
cold.
City.
Vice City
Imagine,
was
imagine
fierce,
playing
man.
that game now.
Vice
like,
City was just
yeah,
a different
with
vibe, but
next
that shit was
gen
dope.
graphics.
That shit was dope.
There's a lot of games that was ahead of its time. Honestly.
Imagine, but the
A lot of
storylines
games.
to those games are really good. Imagine
Yeah,
playing that
right.
game with like today's graphics.
See, that's the interesting part for me too. Like, I think we played these games, and for us, it was just before everything went online as hard as it did. So you would still cop one of these games to play that storyline mode and to
Yeah.
finish that storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one game we
Yeah.
had only get to for the story.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
online.
That's right.
Yeah, until now that you can play online with other people, but you know, like that's mainly what we would play games for. That's why we like games like Pro Skater, you know, like Spiral and
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
right.
that.
Shout out to Halo as well.
Oh,
Halo,
yeah.
bro. Halo was
Yeah.
dope.
I remember all my friends had Xbox. Like majority of my friends when I got to
That's
middle
right.
school,
Xbox, yeah.
so I ended up getting an Xbox just to play Halo because like my
Big
closest
facts.
homie, he was always playing Halo. But I would go to his house, we were gonna go out or something. He'd get ready, I'd be playing Halo.
Halo
No,
2, bro. That one was.
All you had to do
shit,
was take the controller from yours over to your homies.
Yeah, and Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two,
Link
three,
it.
four.
I didn't
Yeah.
even just make that
Halo,
bitch.
Halo 2 was goated. Halo Reach was cool too. I
Halo
remember
Reach.
like every time I go to one of my friends' house, they were playing Halo Reach.
Nah, Halo 2 was my shit.
Where there was like my homie Too Big, like Calvin,
Yeah.
fucking Tenno, everybody was Marvin, RIP Marvin. They were always playing Halo.
That's so interesting,
Yeah.
man. Shout out to all the gamers in the neighborhood. Shout out to everybody who still has the
Yeah, bro. A lot of my
the bandwidth for that.
a lot of my homies still make time for like like to either play video games or work out or like build something out of a hobby.
I
Right.
ain't gonna lie, I still play a couple video games.
Yeah, I should clear my mind. Though.
Okay,
Yeah,
which
but-
console do you got?
PS4.
Okay.
I was trying to upgrade the PS5 though, honestly.
On PS5.
Yeah.
Bro. Hey, you need
You
that?
know,
I
that-
got my job.
You know how
Yeah,
everybody
but-
says like that,
how
like weed
much,
is
bro?
bad. Like I just be
Well, I
in the
can't
room
get, like, any-
rolling a
Oh.
blunt and
You
then I
get
just
my
start
point,
smoking
this guy.
and playing video games. And before I know it, I think I like a hook idea or like a punchline, and then I write it down, and then I'll get off that and I'll just go in the other room and like try to record it and see how it sounds. But that's like he said, that's how we clear our head.
Man, that's
Yeah.
so interesting too, because I think a little bit about the competitive nature of games, especially
That shit
like
get me heated, bro.
yeah, that's the
Bro,
thing.
that
Like
shit gets me hot.
and like why
Man,
why
motherfuckers be
men
talking
play it,
shit,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying?
I
Little
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah, I get on there and I'm like, bro, I'm just
Nah,
trying to chill and you want to
yeah,
talk
You
shit.
find a lot of
bro, what?
racism over
Yeah.
over
You
gaming
find out of
games.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
everything,
I mean, in
bro.
the midst of competition and this
Yeah.
online world where you're anonymous.
Little kids when they rage, they start saying.
Ain't no lie, but that's just fun, though, bro. That's just funny.
That's
Nah,
funny,
because to
that's it.
this day, like I mean, and it can be any game.
But you
Losing
can't
is
be a
losing.
sensitive
Nobody likes
person.
to
You
lose.
can't be
Yeah,
a
bro,
sensitive
that
person
is-
and go into
Call of Duty,
anything that's
man.
competitive. Or there'd
That's
be like
true.
You gotta
video
leave your
games,
feelings in
music,
another room, bro.
a
You got
career.
hot
Man, but you got to learn how to do that too,
Yeah.
because when you first start playing,
we learn from older siblings, older
Yeah.
cousins, you know. So it's like I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna laugh.
And we grew up in
and then if
different
you try to
lives
fight
too,
me,
yeah.
you gonna fight me, but I'm still gonna beat you up because I'm bigger than you.
that's so interesting to me.
But
man.
we learned the hard way, you know. Like we learned outside, falling, scraping our knees, you know.
See, well, that's what's crucial
That
too.
is.
You got to mix it up, and it can't be strictly. At least for me, it can't be strictly video gaming. Like you got to step outside. You got to get on your skateboard or your skates. You got to go out and see your people.
But I'm
Yeah, it's
glad I
like some
that,
people
honestly.
like some
Yeah.
people like drawing, some people like cooking, some people
Yeah.
like lifting weights, some people like making music. You know?
I like playing soccer as a kid, bro.
Yeah.
I'm very glad I grew up like playing outside, like in the dirt and all that shit.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you last time. I feel like we're like
That's why Hot Wheels and
the
making
golden
track and
generation.
bro, like,
That's right, because you got to like know.
we
what
got
that
seasoned
skill
by
is
the
like.
60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the 90s were like the last original trends were like from that time. What do they do now? They buy vintage clothes, they tie dye
Shit,
it,
bro, I was
they
running
resell
around
it,
jumping
they
roof
tear
to
it.
roof and shit like that. So like, that shit's
Yeah.
different.
Right. And it was just a little safer, I think, by the time that we were coming up too.
I feel like the
Because
community was
yeah.
more together.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually, I think a part of the community coming together was the fact that things got so bad during the early 90s.
Yeah.
So people said, we can't allow it to get that heated anymore. We got to come together. The kids got to grow up a little better. And that's the generation that we happen to be a part of. We happen to be those kids who came
honestly.
up after all the major noise. on
Yeah,
the
cause
streets of LA.
like let's say like us like 90s babies, we're still succeeding, still failing, still trying, still growing. But I mean, we have the perfect guidance because I feel like the 3 generations that came before us, you know, like they laid down the right seeds.
Man, we were talking a little bit about that, and you got a very special part with the generations too, Fuego. So I want to ask you from him a little bit about that. I mean, you have people right here in LA, and not just in LA, but right in this neighborhood who know this community, who've been through different parts of what we call the Virgil village today. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about when it started. Who came first, if you will, and where does it go from there? Because you got a deep history in VV, if you will.
Yeah, my grandma came like I think in the 80s or 70s. Yeah, cause my mom was little when my grandma came over here. Yeah, I think she came like around 75, 76.
Wow.
With my grandpa, yeah.
Right to Virgil village.
Yeah, they landed in the Virgil village.
And this is where she decided to stay too.
Yeah, they had like different. The only reason that right now she lives outside of the Virgil village is because she'll travel back and forth to like Honduras so much. So like she like gave up the apartments and she was over there for like a year, you know, like months. But she still lives close by. She lives right there by Rudy's dry cleaner.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yo, shout out to Rudy's down here, bro. Honestly, like.
That's right.
yeah, it's one of
They're
the
family,
old
bro.
businesses that's still
they're
standing.
family, bro.
I love that, man. I love especially seeing that hustler all the way, like still making it happen with their small business, one way or the other out here. Those mom and pop shops, what they speak about out there, but what you see in real time, and once you see, you don't forget. Like when these abuelitos or these abuelitas, these immigrants from way out there, from everywhere, Latin America, but also Europe, parts of Asia, and so on, like they're still out here doing it in their 70s, sometimes in their 80s. And it's wild, man.
That's
but
crazy.
they love what they do. They do it every day and they don't let it go.
A lot of the businesses that were around here that recently closed down too, they were like passed down from like, you know, grandparents
Generations,
to
bro.
the kids, and then you know
What was
they
that?
passed it down
That
to
one
their
Chinese spot right there on Virgil Village, the
Golden Hand.
Oh,
Hand,
golden
Hand,
ham, bro. Yeah.
That shit just
That's
closed
what's
down
fire.
and now it's in like a cafe or something like that, bro.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
I want to go milk all those.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Yeah, we got a lot of wine shops now. A lot of
That's
wine
crazy.
shops.
Yeah, bro, over there by,
Wine
what is it on
shops,
Hoover
honestly.
where it used to
Oh,
be?
yeah, by the park,
Yeah.
huh?
I used to get my pom-poms back there back in the day, bro. Nobody wanted to sell me those shit.
Oh, you mean off of Hoover Street?
Yeah.
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 And then that was like a little wine spot, bro.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
bro.
That's
There was
crazy.
this spot. I mean, I used to eat pupusas right there too, right by,
Ooh.
right off of Hoover Street.
Yeah.
Way back, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild, but like,
Everything's crazy, bro. There's a Target right down the street down there now too, by the park, bro. That's crazy.
That I didn't see coming, and it's funny because I feel like that Target doesn't even make very much. The point of that Target is just to remind you to go to Target. To go to the bigger Target.
Yeah,
because that was little, huh?
Yeah.
There's only like 10 aisles.
Seriously,
Not that much.
like how much can that store?
Yeah, a
make?
little bit of
I don't
everything.
I don't even know.
I feel like it's just for the people that live right there. Like they run out of something, go downstairs. And
Just to
grab
run
it.
up the price on that
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, man, all the
Honestly.
time.
Yeah.
So
The amenities hit different.
the amenities. So you said your abuelita got here from Honduras, maybe the mid '70s or so. That's really classic. So I mean, she must have seen that Family Arcade herself. Maybe she even played some Pac-Man at some point.
Yeah.
She
And
had
then
the
when-
record.
Right. Unbeatable record. Set the first record. And then when did your mom's and when did you come through?
My mom's been like in and out of here since she was a little girl. So my mom was born in '73. I want to say my mom probably came around 1980, and then she'll go back and forth. You know, I told you she went to like Lockwood, and she went to the Con, and then she went to Hollywood.
I'll tell you right now, you're the only person I know whose parents went to the same elementary and middle school that they went to, that we went to.
Yeah, my mom. Well, I didn't go to the same elementary or middle school, but I just grew up in that environment.
Oh, so you
know?
didn't go to Lockwood or
Nah.
King? But you went to Marshall though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I went to King. My mom went to the Con. I went to King.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Cause they moved by where I was telling you on Mariposa up on Sunset.
Right.
So I guess they sent her to the Con.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there were a lot less schools back then too. Now there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's like we didn't get to see that part or that era where they would like bring buses and take the kids to like their school, and it was just one school for the community.
Yeah,
Like I think even when we got to high school, a lot of our friends left because I think MC had opened recently, and then Roy Ball was brand new.
Yeah.
And then they made Sotomayor right there on San Fernando.
That's right. RFK schools.
Yeah, and then
K-Town.
RFK, before it was just like Marshall. Bernstein wasn't even there before.
No, it wasn't.
So it was like, I think it was Hollywood, Marshall, and Fairfax.
That's right.
It was just those.
Those were the big three, and then Belmont too.
Yeah,
of course.
Belmont.
Yeah. Shout out to Oh, that's so good.
Yeah,
It's
I
funny
forgot.
too
I
because
forgot about that.
it's funny too. It's a bit of a catch-22 in that case because they needed to make more schools since the classrooms we went to were so overcrowded.
How many people were in the classroom with you? Like 40, 50, huh?
I don't even want to remember,
That
bro.
was crazy.
But get this, now the new schools that they build are struggling because they don't have enough
Enough kids.
enrollment. Now they're
Homeboy
all
was trying to
They're
stall the
overbuilding
population
schools.
now.
Yeah.
Now there's not enough bodies in
Yeah,
the
that's right.
place.
And most of that has to do with the fact that people had to just leave LA, move out of LA.
Nah,
It
yeah.
got way too expensive, so they took their families with them, and now
Yeah, bro, I hate driving out of
crazy,
LA because everybody.
$1,300 for a studio, bro.
Yeah, I hate driving away from LA though, because a lot of the people, like family, they live really far. They have really big, nice houses, but it's like you gotta drive through like a bunch of empty land just to get there.
big
And we're like, we grew up in the city, so that's
not
that's
normal
something
over
that's
there. It's
normal
not
for
normal.
us.
That's right, man. Hopping on the 204, the 754 means a lot to me because it's like I can just get on that bus and end up in K-Town or go all the way down to USC or
Yeah, all the way to the beach,
Oh,
no?
yeah.
Necessary.
It
That's
goes all
right.
the way like near.
Yeah, it goes really close. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
not,
it
not
goes
the
down to Long Beach,
754, the
no?
204, but it'll go all the way down to like deep.
Yeah,
120th Street,
Yeah.
120th Street, and so on. Like
She goes to
way
Compton,
down
I
there.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, like
She go
you'll
far.
catch a connection from there to Compton and whatnot. But we actually used to have a bus. It used to be the 26.
Yeah.
The
You
26,
gotta
bro. If
really
you know, you
know.
know. Yeah,
If
she
you
take
know,
you
you know.
yeah.
Shout out to LA Metro 26.
I used to be on that
And
bus.
on Virgil Avenue.
Like,
That used to go from
Yeah.
Virgil Avenue out to Compton. That was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
BB/Compton bus. You would never get something like that today, bro.
26, bro.
Used to
That
ride
thing
it all
was
the time,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah.
Nah,
They
took
took it
that
away.
to-
I had to walk up there.
Yeah,
You
they took it
remember
away. I was
being on
like,
the-
what?
You remember being on the bus for so long, you fall asleep, wake up, and still not be home yet?
Yeah, bro.
And we were like teenagers. We had no business.
That
being on the
174
bus
to
and
Marshall,
like,
that shit was.
Bro, getting in that cramped ass bus,
Bro,
bro. I'd rather
I
just walk home
same,
sometimes.
bro.
Yeah,
Damn,
bro. It was
just
like
walk.
For real.
it was like zombies were coming for us. Where everybody was trying to force themselves in that bus. Bro. I think
and
it
it
was
was crazy because there was kids from King and kids from Marshall.
Yeah.
Going at it.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that era of ours, bro,
That
was
shit
like
was
the-
wild, bro.
That was like the best era of like counterfeit bus passes, bro.
Yeah. Nobody was paying. Nobody was paying for that.
Here you go.
They had the stickers
They had
before,
the little
bro.
stickers
Yeah.
at the attendance office. The
People
color
used
ones.
to draw.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
used to
Yeah.
put markers.
With highlighter.
Yo, shout out to Metro, bro.
Bro, that is not happening again with their Metro town.
Bro, but it's crazy because we have so many like benefits, right? So it's like you would
That's
think
really
they'll
wild.
have like public transportation that's like actually public transportation.
Well, especially on the central side.
Yeah, like our
On the
buses.
east side,
That's
they
just
don't
crazy
get it
now,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
On the
like our
east side,
buses should be like the dash, you know, because a lot of people.
No, there's a lot more. They have like vans now. They have the bikes on the side of the LA Metro.
And
Yeah,
believe
it's a
it or
mix.
not, a lot of families
Yeah.
rely on that, you know, to get
Yeah.
their bread.
Yeah,
The
I mean, and
bus.
it's mixed now because
That's
Metro's a business too, and if the business isn't pulling in enough revenue, they got to start scaling back.
175,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's been.
175 to use that's like the pay fare.
Yeah, nah.
$1.75.
Yeah, it's a little
When we
crazy.
were little, it was like what, 125?
I remember when the dash was a
That's
quarter,
$1,
bro.
I
I'd get to the,
Yeah.
I'd go to the pool for a quarter, bro. That shit was crazy.
Oh,
I
hell
used to
yeah.
pull.
Yeah.
You got a quarter.
Yeah,
You got a quarter.
that
You
shit
got a
up,
quarter.
bro.
You
They'll
got a
get you
quarter.
just far enough away
Tokens
from home.
too.
Yeah,
Tokens
bro.
too.
Yeah,
You used to get the
yeah.
little bag of tokens.
Yeah, the bag.
Yeah,
huh,
sometimes
with
when I
the
didn't
little
have
net,
any-
like the marble bag.
Yeah.
When
full
the
of
doors would
tokens.
open, I would run
Yeah.
to the back.
Yeah.
Just run to the back and just
Nah,
sit
y'all
down.
may or may not remember, but my mom, she's had a stand on Santa Monica Boulevard,
I remember
right
that.
by
The
Vermont
newspaper
Santa Monica
did.
for the longest time.
Newspaper
So
stand.
yeah, that's right. She used to sell tokens across the street from the
Oh,
swap
what,
meet.
bro?
Yeah. So I always
I know that little stand right in front of the little donut spot, the
Yeah,
pay
that's
and stuff like that.
exactly right.
Yeah, bro. I know
That's
exactly where that
exactly
was.
right,
That's
my dude.
crazy,
That's
bro. I did
awesome,
not
bro.
know that.
Man, it's a lot of local stories like that. My
Yeah,
goodness,
that's what's up.
Yeah, so she's been here for a while too.
That's
and I mean,
tight.
it's changed. Everything has changed because she's not at
Everything
that
has
exact
changed.
spot.
I think
But,
one of the things
yeah.
that remain that, you know, that
Keep
in
the
here,
memories.
that make this home.
That's right. That's right. I mean, even that Payless came through more than
The
once.
Payless, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Every
like
time I
when-
needed dressing shoes,
Yeah,
bro,
when you
bro,
needed
my
something
phone.
real
Yeah, bro.
fast, man,
Work
that Payless was
shoes,
key.
like kitchen shoes and stuff. office
Yeah,
shoes.
bro.
Yeah, I don't even know if Payless exists as a company
I
anymore.
think when we like,
Nah, I don't think so.
my mom bought me like some J's, some ones one time, but I would stay in school till like 6. It was either that or get picked up ready by my grandma and go run errands with her in traffic, you know.
Right.
So
That shit was
I would
wild,
like
bro.
play soccer, I would play flag football, basketball, handball, kickball. So like my shoes.
Tetherball, bro. I was,
My shoes would get messed
Tetherball
up.
was
yeah, bro. Like,
And then so she started buying me expensive shoes. I remember a few times I got black Airwalks at Payless and I just took off the thing from the back.
Man.
Airwalks,
It's like
bro,
$15 for a pair of shoes.
Let's go. Let's
And
go.
they're black. I was like, you know,
if
I
you're
would get
rocking
in
them
trouble
K-Swiss,
messing things up.
bro.
Yeah.
K-Swiss
The
back in the
K-Swiss
day.
K-Swiss,
too.
for
Yeah,
sure. The
Swiss,
Pumas.
Wait, you
I'm
remember?
still rocking Pumas.
You remember the shoe store that was right there on
What's that? Americas, bro.
The Americas.
the shoe store that was right there right before Hobart or right before Villalobos on Santa Monica? It's like
I'm not sure
in the
if I
corner.
remember
It's
that.
like an orange building. I don't know if it was a Millennium Shoes or a warehouse shoe.
Oh, is that
store.
right?
I think so, right there, right there, right there. I think.
Wasn't that on Western?
Nah. Before that, I know which one you're talking.
No, there
about.
wasn't no warehouse.
There was one right before.
I used to get all
Hobart.
my SBs at the warehouse, bro. Back in the day, bro, it's my SB dumps.
You know where
bro.
they do the tire change and the oil change?
Yeah.
Across
Yeah,
from the
that's
Pastor taco stand.
Yeah.
Alright, so in that same block, there's that tall
Oh,
building. Now there's all these
yeah.
hipsters hanging out outside of now.
Yeah.
That used to be a shoe store.
It's so wild, man.
There's like a Mexican restaurant right there.
Yeah,
bro.
that too. There was a restaurant and a
Yeah.
shoe store.
Even the Fallas Paredes that we used to have.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
man. My
That's
uniforms
just
right there. I get
went
my
down,
uniforms.
bro.
Me
Me
too,
too.
black
My
shirt,
shirts, bro. My polos.
But you remember it? Maybe after like 6-7 weeks, it started to get super itchy.
Yeah,
Like, real, bro.
Hey,
I'll
but
start,
it
like,
still
going
came
like
through,
that
man.
for
That's where I had that. I saw that underclub or that underclub.
The Pro
That was
Club
fuck my
undershirt.
time. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Pro Club undershirt, bro. That's where I came through.
I think that's how we learned to stand the heat. Pro Club
Yeah.
undershirts.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
big
okay.
facts,
Then
man.
we all had that phase where we were wearing hoodies and it was hot as hell. I think
Man,
even in
that's a
high school,
a
like,
crucial phase to get through out here,
yeah,
especially out here for sure.
it builds character.
I can't do that shit no more, bro. I can't do that shit no more.
Nah, man, I appreciate all this reminiscing with y'all, and that's why when I first
It's
saw
important.
the cover,
It's important.
hell
It's
yeah,
important to always like keep
hell
these
yeah.
memories alive.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
keep
right.
keep that shit alive.
That's
That's
right.
just crazy though. How even before we met each other, we kind of grew up together.
Man.
Grew
That's
up,
right.
for real.
Grew up the
Yeah.
same way in the same area.
Man, all in one circle, and you don't
And then
even
chances
know.
are like our moms, like even like if they don't know each
Yeah,
other, they
probably
probably
knew
talk
each
to each
other,
other
yeah.
at the
At one
grocery
point,
store.
yeah.
Man, that's the process of discovery.
That's
Bro,
the
part
good
of
thing
discovery.
about it being just family.
Or
It's
they
like,
probably
you know,
even
just
mad.
like
Pick
community.
one time, bro, I didn't
Pueblo,
know.
village.
That's right.
what
I
we're
didn't
talking
know.
about.
That's
Um,
100% it.
My mom was like good friends with fucking Ham's mom, bro. Like I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
sure.
I never knew that.
Right.
That shit was crazy to me.
Right. That is wild, man. That is
Yeah,
wild.
bro.
Especially given that Ham's mom passed.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
R.I.P.,
R.I.P.,
bro. That's so
That-
hard.
that lady
and-
was
I know you
beautiful
said
soul,
that like
bro,
we were
yeah.
bud buddies in high school. Like we would always go to his house right after.
That's right.
And then
that's
I heard
right.
him talk about how like she wouldn't like she kind of just accepted him smoking.
His mom, bro, yeah.
That was a lot
never,
of hard on Ham's part.
We'd
just
go in his
never
house.
felt judged by that woman, bro. Like she always made us feel like one of her own, bro. Like
Yeah,
that.
bro, honestly.
Hey, and
God
we were
bless her soul,
and
bro.
we had like a
Beautiful.
routine. So like we would leave like school. We would go to the park, smoke, play ball. Me, him, Ham, like probably like 20
Yeah.
deep. We'll walk down the hill to his crib. Go smoke out his bong, you know, like he'd
Like,
get
yeah,
like
back
basketball
patio and
shoes.
stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, we weren't smoking in front of her. She had
She'd be
like
out
a back
there.
patio. And then like we'd just be smoking the bong, we'd eat, she'd feed us, and then we'd go right back up to the park probably like at 6 when everybody other older like
Everybody else
homies
was
came from
pulling
work
up,
and they were
yeah.
pulling up. And then we'd be there probably till like 10
That was
p.m.
the time, like 6
I
to
got
10
Bellevue
was
Park.
like Bellevue
To
was
that ball
cracking,
up,
bro.
no.
We'd be there till like 10
Yeah.
p.m. Probably
That's
we
when
walk
lights
down
turn
the
up,
hill
bro.
to his pad, smoke a blunt, and like his cousin or like his aunt or his mom would take us home. But his mom always like made us feel welcome when we went to
Yeah,
his house.
bro, that shit.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Bellevue Park has so many, it has attachments to so many different stories like that, and I'm grateful for that little park because it does so much work, as tiny as it is.
Bro, we had so many
Yeah, they
turkey
made
balls
a
on
little
that
hiking
field.
trail on the
So many
fucking
people.
Yeah,
Little mountain,
day
bro.
out.
Did they really?
Yeah, they made a little hiking trail.
It's
like,
so cool though to see that because
Yeah.
you know when we were little it was just us and now the community is all integrated. So like let's say like our nephews, our little brothers, you know, our kids, like they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be really well cultured just because of the different ethnicities in the
Yeah,
community.
facts.
That's right. I think it also takes a lot on the part of the people that do arts and rec or like rec for the park. So
Yeah.
there's that department. It's called
Yeah,
like
what's-
the
What
Parks
was
and
home
Rec.
name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's
the
that
Parks
movie?
and Rec department. Like the folks who are there got to do a lot of maintenance for the park, and they got to do it well enough for the park to stay looking
That's
well.
true.
That's for Jimmy, bro. That's his name.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah,
bro. That,
yeah.
yeah.
Everybody knows
Shout
that
out
guy.
Jimmy, bro.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I used to work at I was in the Parks and Rec thing for a couple of years
Oh,
because
is
I
that
had
right?
I had my little brother playing football. I was working at Lake Street, so like I know that it's it's out of your kindness to like be working at a park.
Yeah.
100%.
But it's like shout out to all the people that do that for the community.
Yeah,
whether it's
facts.
teaching a kid how to dribble a ball, how
That's
to
right.
kick a ball, how
And
to
you
swing
teach
a
more
bat.
than sports, bro. They teach you like valuable
Leadership
lessons,
and
bro.
shit,
'Cause
you know.
in sports, yeah, it's just a game, bro. But at the end of the day, it's not just a game, bro. You're getting taught
It's like
life lessons
character
and about
development.
how to
It
keep
teaches
your
you
head up
growth,
after a
man.
loss, bro. Like that shit's
It
crazy.
teaches you growth, and
Yeah.
what he just said, it develops character.
That's
Like
exactly
if you don't have it at home, when you go to the park, you see how like every kid's parents are different, or how there's rules to the game and everything. So it's like when you're doing good and when you're doing bad.
Yeah, or you could not be getting no love at home and step onto the court with your teammates and everybody showing you nothing but love, bro. That could be your only escape right there.
That's true.
Shout out to the parks in Los
Yeah,
Angeles. Like
for
that.
sure.
Shout out to all those people who are committed to that work because it
Yeah.
ain't easy either. But
Especially
I see
right now,
folks-
look,
I see
they're
folks
at the
doing that.
park. The kids are like off for summer. They have water balloon fights with the kids, and
That's
that's how
right.
this shit
Yeah,
outside,
bro.
Oh my goodness, yeah, man. Even on a Sunday,
That
I was
takes
at Bellevue Park
character.
I was at Bellevue Park just yesterday, so I see that folks are showing up to work even on a Sunday because they really love that.
Yeah.
They really love that opportunity for them and the community.
Yeah, like during baseball season, it gets really packed.
Yeah, and
The
it gets
park,
heated
too.
out there.
Yeah.
Those parents get really into that, like little league baseball.
Man, I
for
wish I
sure.
played baseball growing up, to be honest.
I never got into it,
I never
but
played baseball. I was only
Baseball's
soccer.
cool. I like playing baseball.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I
Yeah.
played everything. I like sports.
Man, I can tell.
I feel
can
like
definitely
I
tell.
feel like just physical activity and like writing down words and reading them in front of a mic like that. That's how I let my stress out.
100%, and that's what this comes down to, and that's why it's a pleasure for me to be here once again with the VVs, because we're reminiscing and we're having a good time reflecting on the neighborhood and all the people who make it up.
Shout out Jimbo
And
Times.
hell yeah.
Sir.
Shout out Jimbo Time, shout out the VVs, shout out everybody who loves
Shout
the
out our
neighborhood for
moms,
that.
bro.
That's right.
Because straight up, like, I don't know if you see us, like, a lot of parents that are old fashioned, they see weed as like a bad habit, but I don't think we have any bad habits. The only bad habit we probably have is eating too much or smoking weed. But whatever it has to get done, we get it done.
We definitely get it done.
for sure, bro.
We definitely get it done out here. Now, and one thing I wanted to ask y'all, especially after reflecting on the first combo with Sick Ass Ham and Duce, shout out Sick Ass Ham and Duce for getting us started
Shout
here.
out the homie.
That interview was really, really
Yeah, it was a good listen.
It was
Good
so
listen.
much fun.
That's a diamond in the rough.
It was so much fun. And one thing I realized I wanted to ask about that I didn't get to, but that I'll get to ask y'all now is about the cover art actually. Because for me, part of recognizing the neighborhood was seeing this creative take on none other than the swap meet. So I just want to ask y'all for a moment, like, where did that come from? Like how did you choose the swap meet, and then how did you choose to put your names up, and then also the memorial that you got on there? Tell me a little bit about it.
We each tried to find a picture of the community, and he was the one that brought that idea about.
You mean Don C?
Yeah, and I think he actually found the picture of the swap meet, and then we were like digging through Google, and then we found the older picture of the swap meet, and then he's like, look, this one has like the old car that was always parked right there in the front.
And we kept messing with them. Shout out to my homie Ted Kim, bro.
Yeah.
At that time, at that point of his life, he was working on like photoshopping and
Digital stuff.
digital, And then I kept me and him like worked a little bit, and that's what he came up with. But it kind of got a little annoying because like it was like little ticky tack things that we needed to fix and all that.
Yeah.
And I kept hitting him up and bugging him like yo, and he had to work and all that shit. So
Nah, but shout out to him because he would do it even while he was on his break or like
honestly,
after
yeah.
work. Yeah.
For real, honestly, no.
He's
but
really cool.
He really
Ted
came
in
through.
clutch.
Man, so that cover art wasn't no simple, just
Nah, I took work,
one,
bro.
I think
quick fix, huh?
Wait, didn't Saul do something on the cover too? I think
Yeah.
Aztecs did
I
something
think he
on the
walked him
cover.
a little, yeah. Because we had just had Mac P Dog on the car, and that's when he mentioned, yo, let's put a Rebel or right.
Like Virgil.
So we kept adding things and all that.
I just think it's cool how like somebody like from the area could see that cover and they'd be like, oh, this is home.
Yeah,
It's
exactly
like you
what that
introducing
is.
it, you
Yeah,
know?
bro, honestly.
Instantly.
Well, it's a staple. That and like the Family Arcade, those are two things that
Yeah,
you
bro,
see and you
honestly.
know exactly where that is, exactly what
And
it
then-
stands for.
And then like chances are there's gonna be a big tall ass building right there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh yeah, 7
For sure.
stories. 7 stories.
Hey, you seen that building? The building
That
right
shit
there
is
by the
hard
metro?
full,
That shit,
bro.
yeah, that shit
Damn, bro.
crazy.
Hey,
Grand Burrito
Gran
too.
Burrito, shout out to Gran Burrito, bro.
Oh,
honestly,
bro, I
We were
forgot
talking about that
bro.
last time.
The fucking
bro.
horchata for every time. I'm telling you, when I would get on that 25 cent, and I would hop on the
Oh.
dash ride and run across the
Hey,
street,
horchata.
get horchata real
Horchata,
quick, bro. That
shit
shit
was fire,
yeah,
bro.
that shit was
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
a lot
The
of
owner
people-
was hella. The owner was a little short dude.
A lot of
Little
people-
belly,
yeah,
little belly,
Like
little belly,
occasionally
bro.
you'll find like a few people that'll say like it was like something negative, but I feel like everybody has nothing but positive memories.
Yeah.
It's
At
funny
the-
too, because I
at
came
the
across a lot of
burrito.
that too. When I would bring that spot up, they'd go, nah, like I don't really mess with
Yeah.
Gran Burrito. But the real situation there is the spot, the
Yeah.
place. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you
always
remember-
there for you. It's
you
always
remember,
there.
That's what makes it look good.
You remember coming
Yeah.
from like a family party, little as hell. They like, oh, we're going to Grand Burrito.
Real
Like,
quick, bro.
Definitely.
Actually, it's
horchata.
interesting that you mention it too, C, because they were there before the Metro Red Line
Yeah,
came
bro.
in.
So, for real?
Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
Metro
Shout out
Red
to
Line-
them for not getting out here when the
So
Metro
yeah, they
first-
used to, because they used to do a truck. From what I understand, Don Pedro used to do a truck off of like Virgil at some point. Yeah, he used to run a truck before it was a big store. And at some point, the shop opened up. He got in there, and then later Metro also came through. But Metro brings its own elements because it's a Metro stop.
Yeah.
And people are going in and
It
out.
brings
So-
attention to the spot.
That's right.
So many people know Gran Burrito that
Yeah.
don't even live in the area. They were just commuting from that
Facts.
station.
That's
or
crazy,
that stop
bro,
to-
honestly.
For
Yeah.
years on end. I remember meeting a family there one time that said, yeah, like we've been coming here for at least 20 years, like, and we don't even live in the area anymore, but we still get here to.
And what happened? Did they just like retire and like sell the place?
So actually, from what I understand, Don Pedro, he did sell off that portion.
Before, I'm pretty sure for a big chunk.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe I don't really know what a big chunk is anymore. I would hope so,
Yeah.
really. But
Sure.
from what I understand, he's not finished. That's what I know.
And
So
Okay.
so he's still got the neighborhood in mind. He's still got his business in mind. So I'm not gonna like go into any spoilers
Yeah.
on air or on the record for
that's
it.
tight.
But from what I understand, he's not just like
There's a
out.
possibility.
He's not out.
I'm not
He's
fucking leaving.
entirely-
Yeah.
That's the thing too,
Thinking
right?
of
It's
a
like,
master plan.
hey,
Yeah.
and it's just like we said, like once you
I'm telling
get
you.
into it with the neighborhood,
I've been telling my homies, bro, buy the neighborhood back, bro.
that
Buy
part.
the neighborhood back.
That
bro.
part, and it's interesting because I know, especially through my
Yeah, I got that
mom's-
as a bar on one of my
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's really interesting because especially through my mom's, we've known people who come from way far out, like years after they left the neighborhood, who still just hang out here because it's still just their thing, because their
Yeah.
people are still here, because their
Yeah.
relatives are still here, and so even while they're not physically located at a residency in the neighborhood anymore, this is still home or the
Yeah,
second
facts.
home for
Yeah,
them
honestly.
somehow.
Oh
in
yeah,
many cases.
I haven't lived here since what 2017, 2018,
Right.
and I still feel like this is my home, bro.
Yeah,
Like
It is though. Your
yeah,
mom's there.
nothing changes. Yeah.
Yeah, remember to lean into that mic, my dude.
Nah, yeah, it is home. Your mom's there. Home's wherever you
Facts.
And that's exactly right.
Facts.
That's exactly right. Nah, so I really like that background story behind the cover art. And then actually, you mentioned DJ Aztecs. Tell me a little bit about DJ Aztecs. When did y'all first connect with him? He's a Marshall alum too. From what I-
Yeah.
We
Oh,
connected because of Fuego.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to play football with him at Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I met him when I was in 6th grade. I think we probably all met him in 6th
Yeah,
grade.
we all met him in 6th grade.
Now, to be honest, I was never really like cool with him. I always knew he lived right across the street from me, but like, yeah, I was
Sure,
there
it's
like,
like
yeah,
that.
never
Well, you
talked
probably
to him
knew
that
who he
much.
was.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we
When'd
always,
you meet Douglas? Because you know how him and Douglas.
yeah,
you know each
bro.
other.
I met Douglas, bro, since like fucking kindergarten and shit like that, bro. Me and Douglas go way back like that, but. Yeah, so me and Saul were never cool like that. That's why when I seen him and I was like, oh shit, if I finally get a chance to meet this cat, sure enough, bro, I was a
I
solid
think
people,
in King
solid people.
too. I think in King too, like we had mutual friends, but
We was
like, we
kicking
didn't really like
jingles,
start
yeah.
talking to. I think we were playing flag football actually
Yeah.
in 7th or 8th grade at King.
Okay.
And then from there, when we finished going to King, we started playing football in Marshall.
Oh, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. So
And then remember how Ham was talking about like that we would have ciphers.
yeah.
Whenever we would catch
course.
ciphers,
beatbox,
Aztecs
bro.
would like slap on the
Make a
table and
beat,
he just started
yeah.
beatboxing.
That could be.
Oh, with
Yeah.
that, with the
And he
bounce
could-
on it.
And
So-
he beatboxed probably for like, I want to say at least 3 minutes.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
So
That
even
was
way
solid,
back, that music, that
yeah.
rhythm was in his veins.
yeah, but it's like I feel like like what we're talking about. All of us have music in our roots, and this community to itself.
100%, 100%. And I really appreciate that. I wanted to shout out DJ Aztec
shout
for
out, bro.
that production
Aztec,
and
bro,
for coming through for the neighborhood like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, honestly,
It's
you
from
know,
the
the
roots,
studio
bro.
is named after
Burnside
like,
Studios.
Right.
Yeah,
Burnside
Shout out
Studios,
Burnside Studios. Yeah, I'd definitely like to link up with Saul, you said his
Yeah,
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd love to hear more about his production work and how
That'd
that
be dope, because I
what
mean,
that looks like out
you're
here in LA.
literally in home right now.
That's
right.
That's why, like, for him, like, we're literally on Burns.
Yeah, honestly,
right.
bro, honestly.
That's right.
That's like what Duce says. I don't know if he told you. He literally
Right
lived
across
right when you walk outside, right across the street.
Right, he talked about the Dominican guests, that Dominican band.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I remember
Or
that.
they-
I remember that.
Were they Dominican or were they
Nah,
Honduran?
during it.
Yeah. He talked about that Honduran band coming
That's
out.
solid.
That's
And I
Man.
forgot, they got them to sign something for him just
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
that
yeah.
George,
whole
bro.
dance
Yeah.
session.
right.
crazy, bro.
See, that's something I really appreciated too. The central side of LA contains people from all over, including a lot of folks from Central America. But most of the people that I've met or spoken with from the neighborhood are either Salvadorian or Guatemalan, and maybe maybe you'll meet folks from Honduras every now and again.
Nah, bro, I love it here, bro. There's like, you know how we were talking about how like the kids, like the next generation, they're gonna be like, they're gonna know like different culture backgrounds just because of like growing up playing sports together. It's like for us, we learned that through like, you know, like the businesses, like you were saying, like the,
Bro, it's just like tamales, where you could go down, get a Salvadorian tamale.
Yeah.
One block, go down another block, get a Mexican one. Go down
Yeah.
another one, get a Guatemalan one, bro. That shit, like, that's
Yeah.
just crazy, bro. That shit's dope. I
100%.
fucking love that shit.
100%. And my mom is Mexican and my pops is Salvi, but I really
Same,
gotta give it to
same.
the. Hey, I love that.
Literally.
But I really gotta give it to the Salvis for their tamales personally. 'Cause
Yeah.
I really
Hey, the
love
pupusas.
those Salvadorian tamales.
Nah, but you know, but like with that being said, it's like what, like probably you, like what sort of ethnicity are like your friend group? You know, because we have a lot.
Like a little bit of everything for sure.
Like, there's like Bengalis.
Yeah,
you know,
going
like
to
Koreans.
Marshall, yeah, like you're gonna meet like the
Filipinos,
Filipino American
yeah,
communities, like
Armenians,
strong, tight knit, and they're
Armenians.
like right next to you, and you're almost always rolling together.
Yeah,
And-
Filipinos, Armenians.
Yeah, then you're in
For
class with Armenian American
Yeah.
students, and there's gonna be a culture collision every now and again, especially when you're younger and everything. But
Yeah.
like as time passes, you see so much of the commonality,
The
and you realize,
similarities as you
man,
get
Start
older.
to appreciate
here's
it. Yeah,
another
you appreciate
people.
it.
Yeah, here's another people out here trying to make it day by day.
Yeah, I remember everybody has a different teacher, so everybody learns different. Like you probably learned some lessons before, like we got to the age to learn those
They had
lessons.
tracks back then
Right.
too.
100%.
8 tracks, D tracks.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
bro,
That was cool. I feel like that's how we learned to socialize most
Yeah.
probably. That there was tracks in school.
And
A
then
lot of
they
different
So
took
you
it
can
people
have
out.
your
went
friends
through
from
those
like
tracks.
A track
That's
come and then they leave. Then
What
your
year?
friends
What
from
year
B
did
track.
they take out the tracks?
I wanna
I
say
think
like
right
first
before
grade,
eighth grade,
seventh,
no?
eighth
Was
grade
it
or something like
freshman
that.
year?
Yeah.
Right before 8th grade.
I
Right
think.
before they-
Or
Yeah.
I think halfway through 8th grade,
I
huh?
think somewhere.
That was
Wow.
whack.
Nah, wasn't it when we went to Marshall? They still had it, no? Marshall.
At Marshall they had it, but they took it out at King, remember?
Yeah.
Kenneth.
They put the Lions perch. Remember that?
Yeah.
The
Bro,
Lions
That shit
perch.
was whack, bro. Oh, bro, I didn't even want
That
to put
shit was crazy.
my fucking PE uniform
That
on
shit
because
was
that
one of
shit,
the
bro. That
Lions
shit
right, and
was
what else? I
whack.
forgot the other ones, bro. But that's when I was
Yeah,
in
bro,
the
I like
Lions
that,
perch.
That's
I
a
was
big
like-
throwback, man.
I
Like
like
the corner
that.
grill, which we got.
Yeah, that was-
from
corner
shout out
grill.
the corner grill.
Yeah,
Back
bro.
then we should have knew that they were gonna come with Academy
Those
this,
fries were
Academy that.
busting,
You know?
bro. That shit.
That shit was funny as fuck.
It's funny too though because you speak with people who went to school, say in the Palisades or say in Brentwood, and I have, because I've spoken with people who technically lived here who got bussed out to school because the schools here were not that reputable. They weren't well known for their major graduation rates and major college rates and everything. For them, tracks were never a thing. And the reason they took the tracks out in the first place is because they were saying, hold up, like some kids are in for some kids, including the B track kids. I'm actually talking specifically about the B track kids. They'd be in school for 2 months, be out of school for another 2 months, and then finish the semester in 2 months again later on. So like the drop off was just a little
Weird
too
for the
much.
beat trackers.
It was way too much, and it was also based on the zip code too. So
Yeah.
if you're in B track, you were likely getting less critical school time than people on C or A track,
bro.
and the system got real criticized for that.
Yeah, I didn't know
Got
how
really
any of that
criticized
worked.
for
Like,
that.
But I was
that
going
shit
to.
Of
weird,
course.
bro. That shit weird.
I wasn't even supposed to go to King, but I was gonna go to King one way or another.
What were you
I
gonna?
think my grandma got like her like niece's address.
You were gonna be at
That's what I
LeConte.
was
You were
saying.
gonna be at LeConte.
Yeah, I was gonna go to
Okay.
LeConte. Yeah.
I feel that, and
That's
then
just
probably
crazy.
Hollywood afterward.
Yeah,
too.
but all my friends from elementary school are going to King, so I'm going to King.
Man, it's interesting because listening to a little bit of Mac P, he mentioned having friends on both the Marshall side and then also the Hollywood side. So I mean, in any case, you were gonna be on the Central LA side.
Yeah, it's
One or
because
the other.
like me and Josh were doing bad in school, and my sister had got kicked out of Marshall like a couple of years before,
Wow.
so she went to
Oh, you were
Alonzo.
with Joshy like that.
Yeah,
huh?
so my sister went to Alonzo, and there was like a long ass waiting list for summer school. And I remember I always needed grades for football season, so I was always at summer school.
Yeah.
But it's cool because there was nothing to do at home during the summer, you know? So it's like at summer school, you'll meet people from different schools
Yeah.
in the area. So I remember like Joshy, Joshy, and my other homie Victor went because my sister like put our name on top of the list. And that's when we started meeting everybody from like the Hollywood side.
Man, so just to be sure, when you're saying that, you're talking about Joshua, you're talking about the late Mac P Dog. Once again, rest in peace,
Alright,
Mac P
yeah,
Dog.
bro.
But you're talking about being real good homies, real good friends with this cat who was really just getting started with their rap career.
Honestly, I met Joshie when I was in 6th grade, and like me, him, and like my other friend Keon, we were like buddies, like from the moment we met. And then I remember I got really close to him because around the time that I met him, like my little brother had just passed away.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, I would look after him like he was
I
my
could see
little
that.
brother, because he
I
was a
could
little
definitely
younger
see
than me
that.
and he was way smaller, you know.
Right.
So it was like him.
Yeah.
I think Elias, Forbes, and there was another friend that we had, Douglas. And then Chris, but they were all our friends and they were all small, but they were like always go with us everywhere. They were down to do whatever and they'll play sports with us.
Man, that's so interesting, my dude, because that's another legacy in the neighborhood and in LA is that like the line of heights.
Yeah.
That range of height in the neighborhood.
Hey, so y'all
the
judging
little
me now?
homies and
No, I'm
the-
just I'm playing.
He's alright, I'm playing now.
Nah,
Listen,
the little
no,
homies
height
and the big
limit.
homies. The unity that you all found for the most
Yeah.
random
That
thing.
ass.
For the most random thing. Like
bro,
just
honestly.
Yeah, we
messing
also
around
had
in
a
class
few-
at some point and
We also had a
it doesn't
few
even
friends that
matter.
were just really big, like way taller than everybody.
Yeah,
like
bro.
Ulysses.
Yeah, Ulysses was like a
bro.
personal bodyguard.
Oscar
I
was
feel
big
big
too.
as fuck.
Remember
Yeah,
when
Oscar
we
was
were young?
big, bro. Oscar was
Oscar.
big.
Oscar, damn, it's been a minute since
Who else was tall as hell? Too Big.
Too big was big.
Calvin. They were tall. They were like
That
we
his
were.
brothers, bro. What the
We were in
fuck?
middle school, like going to high school. They were already like 6 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, they were 6
Yeah,
feet,
bro.
and I think they're like probably like 6'3".
Mind you, bro, I didn't get a growth
Right.
spurt till like the 10th grade,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, bro.
Right. Nah, I mean the Latin American community is not known too much for height, but every now and again you get these real tall cats. And what I love is because they come up in community with people who are generally shorter than them. That's their crew. That's their
Yeah, but life
their
is like
roll
it's
dogs.
crazy. It's like when we were in middle school, I think Abraham was taller than all of us.
sick ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
that's
taller
so
than
funny,
me.
man.
She
That's so
did.
funny.
Well, sure, everybody was taller than me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He was taller.
I know the feeling, my dude.
Nah, but he was way taller than all of us. Like we thought he was gonna be tall as shit, cause you know he was saying that he would like wear like all black clothes, like
Right.
tight
Oh,
rid
right.
pants.
Yeah,
and
that was a
big,
different
big, like, his
hand.
Converse, so
That's
he just
crazy,
looked like a
bro.
big kid, like he was gonna be tall as shit.
Man. So
That's just
to be sure as well with Joshie, or when it comes to Joshie, did you ever get a chance to roll with him to any of these shows when he started coming up
Nah,
performing, or by then is it that he was just like so far in
he
with
was
this
he was
other-
doing his thing,
yeah,
but
with this other crew?
But
Yeah,
Joshie,
yeah.
Joshie was cool because Joshie could run into, like, he could run into anybody in any area of the community, and he'd still like, you know, he'd still chop it up with you,
Nothing happened.
ask you to chill.
Didn't y'all
like-
have a show with Roach, Tenno?
Yeah,
Josh?
well, yeah. When I first started rapping,
Yeah.
Joshie went to one of our shows with me, Tenno, and
But
Roach.
he didn't perform though. Huh?
Yeah, he didn't perform, but he would go with us. He like hype us up. This was before he started making music. He'd be in the studio with us in the valley.
Yeah.
But I remember we had a show one time in Manteca, going up, and then
That's
towards the 209, yeah, and he went with us, and we stayed at like the promoter's crib. It was cool. I think we performed with a couple of big artists from the Bay.
Wow.
E40's nephew, Turf Talk,
Wow.
and then there was some other rapper named Gully.
Okay.
But then over there it's weird because LA's so different than all these other cities. Like over there, they're known in their whole city, you know.
Right.
Like LA's
For
so
sure,
big
bro.
that like
LA's so spread out, it's difficult, man. It's difficult to branch and to really go from one neighborhood to the next
yeah.
and get that rap going.
Like
But
over there it's small, but they're
That's
really,
right.
but they're a unit. Like they
Oakland is
They'll push
easily
it,
like
they push each other.
yeah, Oakland is probably like top 5 for cities. That
Yeah,
is
for sure.
in terms of how well known they are for
Yeah.
their crowd, for their love of the
My
music.
dad's in Oakland right
When it
now.
comes to hip hop,
That's
especially.
Brooklyn. That's
Yeah.
what benefit.
Literally, we
Past,
wouldn't
like,
have.
6
We
years.
honestly
Oh, shit.
probably wouldn't have
6,
our
7
sound
years.
without the
That's a
Bay
big
Area.
fact. That's a big fact.
Shout out Mac Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Shout out Mac Dre.
He
Shout
might
out
not
the
be
whole
he
Bay.
might not be everybody's favorite rapper, but you know, like the foundation for the new wave music comes
That's exactly
from
it.
his music.
That's exactly
Like
it.
his beat choices, you know, his rhyming patterns.
Yeah, I mean, and I think in LA, because we get so caught up with like the big artists, the big
Yeah.
names, the Ice Cubes and the Snoop Dogg's and DREs. Like, it can be easy to overlook the Bay, but if you know, you know.
Yeah, Mac
Absolutely.
J, Too Short,
That's right.
E40.
That's right.
Yeah, I started knowing about.
Where
Bay
would we
Area
be
music.
without Too Short?
Yeah, bro,
Bro.
Mac Dre and Too
Where
Short are
would we be?
responsible
Where would
for
hip-hop
modern
be?
day.
Bitch.
Like, you know, it's that type
100%.
of sound.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and even that swag too, because then you see that rap comes in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. Like Too Short's flow is so different from a Snoop.
It's like if
or
he's
an
just,
Eminem
it's
or
like if
50
he's just
Cent.
talking,
That's right. It's like he's having a combo.
but he grabs your attention
Yeah,
when
that's
he's
right.
flowing. It's
and
crazy.
and it's always been authentic. on his part.
He's Too Short. He doesn't have to
That's
rap
right.
fast. He
That's
doesn't
right.
have to like copy anybody's
That's right.
sound. He's
That's
just
right.
Too Short.
Now that's a big deal, especially coming up on 50 years of the Form. Did y'all ever listen to like what was his name? The guy who made La Raza. Kid
This is
Frost.
for- oh,
Yeah,
Kid
that's
Frost.
the
This
name,
is for
Kid
La
Kid
Raza,
Frost.
yeah,
Any
Kid
little bit of
Frost.
that. Especially if you were on GTA at some point,
Yeah.
you had that
For La
soundtrack.
Raza. Yeah,
Especially if you were playing Grand Theft
crazy.
I feel like a lot of music
It
like
was
resonates
amazing.
with
Yeah,
us
bro.
just because of the games.
Just because
It's
of
like
games,
in-
which I don't think
remember-
happens anymore in the same
And
way.
games, yeah, they don't have the same quality of like
I see
music. You know, they don't have the same quality storyline.
My
Everybody's
brother-in-law-
just waiting to get the game and hop online and whip their friend's ass. Or
That's right.
play
GTA
it.
had
Oh,
the radio
what
had
the
a bunch of
frick is
fucking
that?
great music, bro.
I love listening to the radio.
The
on that
GTA radio.
Yeah, they got all
GTA
types of
radio.
stations.
Radio Los Santos.
Man.
Radio Los Santos.
West
Yeah,
Coast
yeah,
classics.
yeah.
Classics.
That shit's dope, bro. Honestly.
Nah,
Nah,
it was
but
a
my
lot
brother-in-law,
of
he
fun.
actually put me on a lot of like underground hip hop. Honestly, shout out to Mark. Honestly, bro.
Oh, 100%, man.
Like he actually put me on like Psycho Realm, Sick Jackin', bro.
I could
like,
definitely see that.
fucking Immortal Technique, bro.
That kid was a hip
Immortal
hop
Technique
head.
was crazy.
Fucking
Immortal Technique is tight.
Brother Ali, bro. Atmosphere, bro.
Yeah, Atmosphere is
Lots of
tight,
atmosphere
bro.
from
Brother
Lots
Ali.
of
Lots of
atmosphere
Murs.
from
You got the
Lots.
Murs. in there,
Murs
bro.
is tight. Sublime's tight too.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, we actually see that's another part of
Yeah, I
it
heard
too.
you guys.
I actually saw the Living Legends perform at Amoeba when it was still right there on Sunset. So that Amoeba was pretty key too.
Amoeba,
for
Bro,
bro.
I was
us.
low key burned when they moved there, and I've only been there. Like,
I've gone. It's
twice.
nice. It's nice. It's big. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
big. It's it's no more 2 stories, so like it's everything just laid out.
Yeah,
bro.
laid
right.
out.
That's
So,
right.
like, you just got
But
to
I
go
hope
and
that they
know
get
what
some
you're looking for.
shows going there soon
That'd be
because
crazy.
I still remember seeing. I met Murs there one time, and I met the Living Legends for
The
sure.
Living Legends.
I saw even like the last time, the very last time I ever caught a show. It was this one band just coming up. They got this song, The Green Twins. I forget the name now, but I remember it. They had this song called The Green Twins, but it was this real cool cat.
It's crazy, bro.
And the show was free, and it was like a cool place to meet just other hip hop heads, other people
That's
who
tight.
love this sound and that vibe. I think that's a little harder to come by nowadays, but I hope
Yeah.
that we get some of it back to the best of our ability.
Honestly.
In terms of performances, where have y'all gotten to perform even maybe just 1 or 2 songs off of Virgil Village, the album?
Yeah, what was that place called? Chain Reaction.
Chain Reaction.
Anaheim.
Club Bahia.
But yeah.
What's the other spot? Rare House.
Warehouse.
Yeah, the warehouse. Yeah, shout out Javi.
Javi.
Yeah.
Shout out, fuck Javi.
Yeah,
like-
shout out fuck Javi.
He's a photographer
We
group in the
hosted like,
neighborhood.
Yeah,
like,
I
hosted
think he
the
takes
whole
like
event, bro.
street photography about like just everything.
Like
street
urban,
stuff.
just
Yeah.
hip hop.
That
You know,
was
That
like
shit dope, bro.
he
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
pictures of like hit ups on the
Yeah.
freeway stuff.
Yeah, bro. It's
Like
It's like
metal
a underground
stuff.
double XL, bro. That shit's dope.
Yeah.
Honestly,
course.
yeah, that shit's dope.
That's-
Yeah, I hope Javi, if you're listening, bro, I hope you end up
Yeah.
making a magazine for the community.
Yeah,
stuff.
Facts.
shout
Go.
out, bro.
Let's go.
Because he has a really good eye for
He
photography.
does, bro.
Yeah, he took a couple pictures for us too.
Yeah,
Bunch of
yeah,
clean,
awesome.
yeah,
Oh, is that
those are
right?
clean too,
For
yeah.
VV the album.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, not just for like a show. I think he pulled up to one of our
Oh, is
shows.
that
and he
right?
was right
Yeah,
there.
the show in Anaheim.
We
We,
got our love too, bro. It's like-
the show in
Yeah.
Anaheim, because our first show, I think at Bahia we sold like, I don't know, I remember we sold like 50 tickets, but it was like 100 people right there.
Man, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Pulled up,
I
yeah,
mean,
total. It was
just-
cool. That was the time that I told you that like our friend Elsie got the VIP section. We were like, what the hell?
That's so cool.
That shit was
That
dope,
shit was
bro.
crazy. That's when like the hood had like a whole section right there, bro. And they were
Literally
all
everybody
showing love,
from
bro. Yeah,
Burns
that shit was
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
That's
Bro.
wild to me, man.
That shit was
I was
crazy.
tripping out, but I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was like,
In Anaheim.
once
No,
I took
right
the, once
here,
we took the
yeah.
stage, bro,
By
I
Dodger
looked out,
Stadium.
like, damn.
Oh, right here by Dodger
Bahia.
Stadium.
Yeah.
low-key
Oh, okay,
was
but yeah,
nervous.
okay, right here. Right here in Echo Park then.
Yeah, the one in Anaheim
It's
was
like that-
packed,
the
but it wasn't
sunset.
really our people.
Okay.
But that day was cool because we met some people that liked our music.
What's
I
that?
feel like that's the
P.
biggest
Lennon?
thing. Yeah.
P.
I
Lennon.
feel like that's like
Lennon,
our
bro.
biggest thing. Like we could probably
Don
perform
Will.
in front of
Shout
10
out Don
people.
Will.
Two
Don
people
Will.
like
Let's
our
go.
music.
Let's
Like,
go.
you know, maybe they show it to like 10 other people.
100% and all the time. I mean, when it comes to, say, organizing a show, tell us about that for a moment. Like,
That's all
You-
Fuego.
Yeah,
like
that,
you
I
make
say,
an
like-
album, and then how is it that you decide, all right, now that it's out, let's see about getting some of these songs out to the people.
Yeah.
That is live in front of them with us and everything. How does that even? Where do you even begin there?
Well, I think it was mostly just a lot of it. Well, me and George, we wanted to make visuals, and then Fuego was like, yo,
Yeah, when
I
I
booked
first
it and all that shit.
when I first started making music, I started making music with my homie Tenno that I was telling you. He could find a way to get us booked because the guy that was in charge of he was going to school for audio engineering, but it was a recording studio, and the person who owned it, his name was D Wiz. He used to produce E40's music when E40 was like rapping in college, you know, like trying to make it out. He has all the plaques right there for like Too Short, E40, Spice One.
Why?
And he found a way to connect us with the promoter from Afton shows, I think, and then Tenno would get booked for shows, and then that name always stuck with me. And I'm scared, bro. Like to this day, like honestly, like when I get on stage, I get really scared, really nervous. But I'm like, it's part of the grind. Like
That's right.
I have to do that shit. You know, even though I fall on my face. Like the other time I had a show, it was in Anaheim. It was just my girlfriend, my homegirl, and her boyfriend, and like you know, like nobody else. Like there was like probably like 15 other people. I was performing, and then they were vibing to it. But the artist that performed before me, he walked out and he took like all the people with him. I don't know, he was like salty or what. But I'm like, it's crazy because I literally stood my ass there and watched him perform, even though he was performing like sad, like trap metal music. You know, it wasn't my cup of tea, but me as an artist, I was just right there, watching him perform his art. So
well, and
like,
especially
that
as
day
one
was-
performer to the other. Like, look, bro,
like
I
that
got
day
you.
was whack, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, I did it, you know, like
Yeah.
there's good ones, there's bad ones. I'm like, fuck it, no, I just do better
Man.
next time.
That's so important to hear because I think a lot of us, we see the end product, and we were talking a little bit about this the first go round, and we don't know everything involved behind the scenes and how, you know what, an artist, like everybody else, is gonna have a good day and they're gonna have some not so good days,
Yeah.
some bad days.
The
And that's-
difference is like
key.
now I'm a man,
But
so
there's always a
I'm
new day.
dealing with the bad days with myself head on. You know, when we were small, we had our parents to guide us and tell us like,
Right.
"Oh, do this, do that differently," or you know, this is how you get ready for it. So it's like it's swag, but it's cool because you gain so much experience and knowledge from it. So it doesn't make you pussyfoot, but it kind of gives you a smarter approach for the next time you do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, for me it's really interesting too because a part of what I love about the album, a part of what I love about y'all coming together is, yeah, everything rooted at home, rooted in this community that we all know, and then the fact that y'all are coming from parents who came from similar but also connected pueblos.
Yeah, bro.
You're coming from Latin America. You're coming from this Latin culture, as they would say on the East Coast. You're coming from being Latino and growing up in a Latino household and so on. And that's an interesting story for me now more than ever because you have more Latinos in hip hop than ever
Yes, sir.
before.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering about that moment. I'm wondering about that breakout moment for the Latino community because I think it's just on the cusp, but it takes a little bit of everybody doing their thing, including young, unsigned rappers who rap because they love to rap. And that's kind of what y'all are up to. But I want to ask your thoughts for a moment about, say, Latinos in hip hop and where that is or where it's going, because for me that's something that is just on the cusp, if only for a few more things. But what do y'all make of that?
Man, I believe Latino hip hop is coming on the rise, or if anything, has been, you know, it's always been here, but people just have to go and find it because it's not as popular as mainstream music. You know,
Big
Bro,
pun.
it's,
Big pun.
Like,
Remember how we were
Kid
talking about?
Rock's.
Remember how we were talking about like growing up around music,
Yeah.
like
Get that mic on.
like Spanish music. It was underground before, like
yeah,
even before
sure.
I came. When I was in Honduras, like they'll burn CDs, like tapes with like music that only DJs would play at the club.
Yeah.
Back then, that's how you got your song put on. You know, they'll play it at the club, and and then eventually the right person will get his hands on it and play it on the radio or see what the feedback was like. They don't have opportunities like that anymore because everything's a monopoly. You know, like everything that you want, you gotta pay for it. It's like you get what you get. Hopefully more back than what you invest.
CDs, bro.
Yeah, but they'll have burnt CDs, like, you know, so before all that music was underground. Like, we'd see it on the premios, the Hispanic premios, on Univision, so it's just our people watching it. It wasn't like, you know, like the Grammys and stuff like that, like where it's global.
Right.
So, I feel like it's came a long way because now it's mainstream. Now you got the #1 artist being Hispanic.
Right.
It's not something that would happen often back then.
Right. It took a moment to really come into the full scope, and it's still just doing that. Because I think about the fact that Puerto Rican communities were breakdancing right alongside African American communities in the Bronx.
Bro, yeah, like, I was about to say that New York, that culture is like crazy.
Yeah. So like you said just now, it's always been there, and it's always like it's always been here. So it's a matter of it coming home a little bit, but that's why when I see young cats such as yourselves making sure that hip hop lives for you personally, for your own community, that's a big deal. It's not about, for me, whether you take it all the way or not is one thing, but the other side of it is, look, it's right here, and like you can find it, and it's not just interesting to find it. It does a lot for a person to know that somebody took the time. That's the reason that we're all doing it. That's the reason that we're all here.
Shout outs to East LA too, bro. There's a bunch of Chicanos
I feel like
East LA, bro. Like Cesar Chavez.
Good food out there,
Taquerias everywhere. My sister lives out there.
East LA, bro. Like,
yeah, they got good food out there, bro.
I feel like hip hop will never fully die because wherever there's like, you know, struggle
like
and there's
Burning
pain.
and all that.
Facts.
Wherever there's struggle and there's pain, there's hip hop. So if you live like, if you've seen some shit in life, you know, your art might not be like verbal. It can be like visual, you know, it can be like with your hands painting or something. But if you see something, just try to bring it to life. You never know. It could be good, could be bad, but you never know if you don't do that shit.
Nah, I like that because I mean I've been listening to Russian hip hop.
Oh, what the fuck?
Randomly.
Nah, the guy
that
was
out there too, just like that.
There was
Hey, do you understand it though, or like?
Nah, I mean I'm trying to.
There
at
was
some
a
point,
video.
but
The vibe is different.
The vibe is good. The vibe is a lot like drill, so it's like drill Russian rap.
I was about to
drill
tell
Russian
you.
rap. But the interesting part of it is I was listening to it just the other day, and in the middle of the Russian, this cat goes, "Rest in peace, Pop Smoke." So even all the way out in Russia,
yeah, bro, but
folks
it's
are aware.
because that's their sound, you know. Like drill music is UK rap.
Yeah, that UK
know?
rap, this right too.
Like Chicago music, like, you know, shout out Chirac, Chief Keef, you know, like that's where drill music came first.
Right.
And then we got a different taste of drill music now in New York, which is dope because it has integrated the roots of like the Hispanic community, like you're saying. Like they'll take like a salsa song and sample it.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, it's like a drill beat, a New York drill beat, you know?
That's right.
And it's cool because you're just talking about like New York. You know,
exactly
they got the culture and the breakdancing comes from over there too.
That's exactly it.
Like the salsa, the reggaeton, you know, and then you got the jazz and the hip hop in New York.
That's right.
So it's like I feel like if there was never hip hop out there, we would not have it out here. But it also has roots that come from like Hispanic culture.
That's right. It pulls from a little bit of everywhere, and our family.
That culture over there is cool because it's like they got like, you know, Italian culture, like Hispanic culture, like African American culture.
Yeah, and that's one thing too is that's one thing too for me and the work that I do. Like it's a big deal to connect a little bit of those pieces and to show people that like when you get out to LA, like LA's got stories everywhere, but it's also, especially when it comes to these Latino communities, it's not just on the east side. It's all over.
Yeah.
It's mixed. And it's not just Latino either. Like we were saying earlier about our friend groups. It's Filipinx, it's Korean American, it's African American. It's a little bit of everything. And I don't want those stories to just go by unnoticed. I don't want those stories to simply go unheard. So when you're rapping about the VV for a minute, you're doing a great part in preserving that story and making sure that legacy is heard. And I just hope nothing but more from y'all in the days ahead.
You know how you're saying like hip hop, like
more music off the way.
I hope you listen to like, you know how you say hip hop. I hope you listen to some of our music whenever you get like the chance. sense because we also have individual music.
That's right.
Like Forbes has music that's like stemmed from hip hop, and then like I have music that's like kind of stemmed from hip hop, like Hectic Flow. Like in a sense, that's where that song came from.
Of course.
Yeah.
Even him, he has
I have
like
a
a couple
bunch of
boom bap songs that.
a bunch of unreleased music that I have, but it's just a like matter of me breaking out my shell, being like like fucking like I already had it recorded and all that.
You gotta release it. That's why I
You
keep
gotta
telling
release
this.
You gotta
it.
sound,
Release
You
you gotta
music.
sound stupid behind closed doors in order to shine in front of the critics.
I think that's like my main thing is just like breaking out of this shell. Just like what?
Yeah, but I've said some like I've stumbled a lot. I said some stupid shit. Like now when I freestyle like music so much that I get fucked up, I just like pause for like a second and then I'll catch the beat.
That too, honestly. I like when I go in the studio, go to the mic and all that.
Hey,
Playing
honestly,
what you have on the track is like it's just gonna be forever. So it's like
honestly, he
Big
said
facts. Big
like
facts.
he said unreleased music, new music coming soon.
Yeah.
The other time we were here, we went and we recorded a song.
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Right
Let's
after,
go.
too, that's it.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's
I mean, and
right.
that's what I'm saying too. Like,
Really
it's a little,
motivated us, honestly.
it's just like what we said about the CDs way back when, right? Like the CDs no longer exist. Those burned CDs no longer exist. Just like LimeWire no longer exists and whatnot. But you pass that word along to Jimbo Times. Jimbo Times passes that word along to some of his network, some of his community. That's what this podcast is about, 100%. So for sure, like, we still find a way to get that hot potato
It's like
along.
like a trickle down thing.
Yeah, I hope some people tune into this, check it out, and check out our
honestly,
music, and
That's right.
Shout out
give us
Jumbo
feedback
Time,
whether it's good or bad.
Let's go.
Facts.
You can make fun
shout
of me,
out
I'm gonna
Virgil
get better.
Village.
You can give me a pat on the back, I'm gonna get better. But we're gonna keep working. But feedback helps the process.
Let's
Open to
go.
criticism.
Let's go.
I left my feelings on the shelf this morning. So
Hey. Just talking about that too. It took a little while for these cats to really be able to say that. I know it's taken me a while to hear feedback the best that I can. So, I mean, give us your handles. Let us know how people can keep up with you. Let us know where people can follow you and so on, just to be sure, just to get that on the record.
Yeah.
Let's start with you, C. Don C.
Introduce myself?
Yeah.
Hey,
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Oh, sure.
Let's go.
Yo. So this is Don C, the one and only in the flesh. I'm just playing. I'm back here with my homies right here, Forbes 24K, homie Fweago.
At Forbes 24K on IG.
Yes, sir.
Link in the bio.
Look at the DMs open. That's it. Hey, shout out,
Follow me on the
Deuces,
gram
shout
at
out David.
Fuego. Follow me on the gram at Fuego, FWEAGO, not the other way.
That's right. 100% follow these cats, and I will definitely remain in convo with y'all. I'm definitely with you out through these streets, out through this city, trying to make a buck out of 15 cents, just like a great artist once said.
Yes, sir.
We continue in that struggle, continue in that footwork. And man, it's been so much fun chopping it up with y'all. I can't wait for the next session with
Yes, sir.
only more of the
It's been a
VBs
blessing, bro.
and about more from the VBs.
Yes, sir.
100%.
There's gonna be a lot more, honestly. It's just a
Work in progress.
work in progress.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's
we got
only
live.
beginning,
We got live hitting at the same time. So
Yeah, bro.
Like
I was supposed to
everybody
drop a tape in like June, July. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get it out before August ends.
Just know this, man.
Yeah,
Hey
That's
man,
why
if
I
y'all
said
y'all
that.
can't press him about that album, he don't get pressed about it. He ain't dropping
Yeah,
nothing.
because my
Right.
birthday's in a
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, when?
August 6th. I'm trying
Alright.
to drop it like probably on the 20th. Because I'm trying to go to Vegas for my birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure, man. For sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. You got to get a performance in there while you're out there.
Yeah.
too.
Facts.
Yeah, I was looking into open mic, but we're trying to drop a song like us, all of us.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Real soon.
Man, you already know that
Music
Jimbo
on the way,
Times
bro.
is ready
Next
at the call
week.
for that.
Yeah,
Let's go. Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
First week of August, actually.
yeah, let's get it.
Let's go first
Yeah.
week of August next week, my G's.
Yes, sir.
So 100%. Thank you once again. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank
and
you,
we'll
bro.
be here. We'll be back here again in no time.
Hopefully this was
sir.
as good as the first one.
I had a great time. Thank you all.
Yeah,
man.
we
Thanks
did
for
too,
joining
bro.
me.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Always.
man.
Thank you, bro.
All right, everybody. That was JT the LA Storyteller podcast in part 2 with the VVs, and I hope you enjoyed the combo as much as I did. I'm really proud of these cats for doing their thing, And I think that you're super lucky to be tuning into this convo. So make sure that you hit that follow and subscribe button to keep up with Jimbo Times, as well as the VVs and everything else up ahead. What a pleasure. Enjoy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.